Hello, everybody. Yay. So sorry, it's been such a long time since I've been on the YouTube. Um, Many of you will remember a good long time ago now, I committed to start making a course for parents that taught those parents how to clean and clear themselves energetically and then also do the same for their children. And it's been a long time in the making, this course, because I think there were a lot of energies and entities that were trying their level best to stop me from creating the course. So since I basically committed to create this body of content that's literally going to change people's lives, the dark energies in this realm have literally thrown everything my way that you can possibly think of to stop me from creating it. But I have got through all of that and have created it anyway. So for all of those people that have been wondering and asking me and emailing me and messaging me and sending me messages through YouTube when the parents course will be available, it is available now. Yeah. So it's all written, 200-page manual. And also the course itself will involve 2 live sessions with me that are 5 hours long. That is for me to talk you through the ins and outs of all of this stuff. You can't just do it in a manual alone, because as good as manuals are, you still need somebody to break it down and give you concepts and metaphors and tools that are going to help you through it. So the parents course itself is 2 live days that are 5 hours long, because we don't want to be spending 8 hours attached to a headset, because that's not good for anybody. And then you get the manual as well. And you also get, after you've come on the 2 live days, you then get given access to a pre-recorded training course that takes you through everything really, really minutely, step by step, that you can revisit as many times as you want. You also get given access to my Mighty Networks Soul Center Healing Hypnosis networking group, so that you can ask me any questions that you want on there at any time of the day. Obviously, if I'm asleep, sorry, I'm asleep. But at other times, I will make sure that I am answering those questions. And you can also network if you wish. You don't have to, but you can network if you wish with other parents and support each other through what it is that you're going through with your kids. And you must understand that I understand this stuff better than anybody, because you just imagine how heavily targeted my children are by entities, because I am their mother. And this is how this course basically got written, through all of the horrendous things that I've experienced. And if I didn't know how to take entities off of my children at this point in my life, I don't know what I would do. I genuinely don't know what I would do. I don't know how I would get through life without having the ability to know that when my children go to bed at night, I can clean those things that they brought home off, and my children will go back to normal the day after. What I have come to realize being a parent myself is many parents do not even know the soul of their own child in full completeness, because that child will have been born with a sacral entity from birth. Not every child, but many children are born taking their mother's sacral entity out of the mother at birth. And so this edge that children have, there's a saying that we always used to say, that I remember years ago, kids are cruel. Kids aren't cruel. Children aren't cruel. Not left in their natural state. Children that are parasited upon by entities and demons, they are cruel. And I've experienced that firsthand. My children are incredibly pure, wonderful beings, as all children are in their pure form. But when my children carry different energies and entities, it has a profound effect on their emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. And therefore, it has a profound effect on you as the parent of that child. So if I could give one thing to anybody all over the world, it would be the ability for that parent to connect with their own child, just them and their child. Not all of the demons in between meddling, causing problems, creating situations, triggering people, saying nasty things, causing anger, causing voices in the head. It would be for the pure essence of the parent and the child to be able to connect with each other. If I could do anything for humanity, it would be that. And this is what I've achieved now. And I'm really, really proud of this work beyond beyond anything that I've ever created, because I understand the true power that this work can have if people take it and use it the way it's meant to be used. So if they use it to clean themselves and then to clean their children, this is the future of humanity, in my opinion. Now, many people, well, if you're watching my channel, I'm guessing you've come across what entities are. But many of you started watching me before I fully came out as some of the things that I do now. The things that I would put on YouTube were all of the really positive, high frequency content, all of the amazing past life regression sessions and quantum travel sessions that I would do. And that still absolutely is my favorite part of the job. My favorite part of the job is always, from a soul perspective, getting to go on those really exciting sessions where you experience things almost for the first time, but your soul knows that you've experienced it as well before. And people take you to incredible places, and it's the most wonderful thing ever. But that is not why I am here. We can access all of that stuff. We can access all of it in the higher realms. It is known. It is what we do. It's what we are. But the reason why we're here is to clean up this realm. And it's not just clean up. Maybe clean up's the wrong terminology. It's to help the people that have had their free will choice taken away from them by negatively polarized beings to stand in their power again, to get their life back, to be placed at the wheel of their own ship without these negatively polarized beings taking control of the situation. And I want to, if I may today, talk you through something very briefly to help people understand this in a deeper way. Because I know many people think, I don't believe entities exist, or I'm not interested in talking about entities because if I do, I'll bring more of that into my life. People need to understand that this is much bigger than that. It's much bigger than that. This entire world is basically set up to fuel the world above. So just as if you consider the first dimensional space in this world, earth, water, fire, air, crystals, just as those elements support the beginnings of the animal kingdom from all of the full arc of all of those lifetimes, you know, from the amoebas and the plankton, all the way through the sea creatures, all the way through the insects, all the way through the smaller furry animals, all the way up to the animals that are beginning to get some sense of self, some idea of individuality, and also have the ability to feel love and to feel. That's what we're working at in the second dimensional space. The third dimensional space is humans as the bipedal life form that has evolved in this world. And there's a whole video that I can do around that evolution. If you come to study with me, you'll learn a lot more about that because I go into that in great detail. But the evolved human in this world, no matter where we came from, no matter what we're comprised of, the arc of our third dimensional experiences, so all of the lifetimes that we live in the third dimensional space, is all about choosing a polarity. A polarity is the means by which you want to experience the universe in your journey back to the Godhead, back to Source. So what do I mean by that? You've got service to self beings, otherwise known as the dark, otherwise known as the negatively polarized path, and they are concerned with self and self alone. Their structure is a very hierarchical structure. It's parasitical in nature, and each being feeds off of the beings below it. But the beings have to feed on some form of light source because they have cut themselves off from source. I hope everybody understands that. The dark ones have cut themselves off from source. They've decided they don't want to be a part of source. They want to be gods of their own universe, which means gods of this realm. So because they have cut themselves off from source, they have to fuel their existence with something. And that energy comes from us. And then over here, you've got the service to others beings, which is the path of the light, positively polarized. And beings in that polarity, they emit light, they give light. In the third dimensional space, it's all about choosing a lane. You've got to choose a lane. Which polarity do you want to continue your journey throughout the universe, throughout the incarnations and experience? Now, this cycle has happened many, many times on Earth. And many, many times when this cycle has occurred, beings have chosen to follow the negatively polarized path. Excuse me. And in so doing, when the graduation point has arrived, they have graduated to that negatively polarized upper fourth density. There's also many beings from other places that have come to join those beings that exist on Earth in that negatively polarized upper fourth density. We also have a positively polarized upper fourth density that contains the fairies and the unicorns and all of the creatures that we're told are mythical. They exist in myth and legend, meaning they don't really exist. Just people randomly all at the same time all over the world painted them and used them on their flags and everything else, drew them on caves, but they don't exist. Now, the reason why these creatures exist in myth and legend, as we are told now, is because at a certain point, humans vibrated higher. The light which fuels us, which fuels the physical avatar of the human, the chakras, vibrated higher. They actually used to vibrate all as white light, plugged into the planet and up through the crown to source. Then the dark beings infiltrated due to dark deeds that were happening at a certain point in time. Some people will say that is the times of Atlantis. Other people will say that was earlier. But these dark beings arrived. They were called in, if you like, by dark energy because like attracts like. And then the energy centers unhooked from each other. They stopped working together as a team and they separated out into the individualized colors of the rainbow. And at that point, that's how we were taken down. Because once you've got any form of separation and not unity and oneness, that can be preyed upon. And so once they had got our energy centers individualized out into the colors of the rainbow, rather than being white light, then they started to attack us in the different areas. And if you come to study with me, I will teach you all about that in great detail. But basically, imagine, if you will, these rainbow colors of light that we had when we first fell. Then every time something bad happens to you that makes you sad in your life, drop a black spot of paint in the orange pot. Every time you feel terror, every time you're scared. This includes things for entertainment as well. You know, watching horror movies or going to a theme park. Drop a spot of black paint in the red one. Every time you're humiliated or made to feel guilty or shamed or dominated or controlled, drop a piece of black paint into the yellow pot. It doesn't take long before all of those energy centers that are supposed to feed the colors of the rainbow to us become black, become dark, vibrate lower. And when that light vibrates lower, the entities attached, they attach to the energy centers and they use your energy as their fuel source. When this happens, they affect your consciousness, your emotions, your behaviors. Your entire life is affected, steered, guided, and changed by these beings. And this happened to humanity over time. So now the majority of us are all vibrating with these lower frequency energy centers that connect us up into the negatively polarized upper fourth density. When what we need to do is take these entities off, clean and clear our chakras. And that's a whole process, again, that I will teach you if you come to study with me. Then we sidestep them. We're just out of their bandwidth. We're out of their frequency range, much like a radio station. We have the colors of the rainbow running throughout our body again. Then at the key point in time when all of this aligns celestially, the wave of light is sent. What happens then is that wave of light, when it's accepted by us through our energy centers, because it's accepted by the earth, it's accepted by us. Our energy centers then work together again as a group. They turn into white light. And when our energy centers turn into white light, the physical representation that we have that is connected to that energy will then be a higher resonance, a different avatar, a different physical vehicle, if you like. As the light ascends, so do we. So that is why I feel that entity release and the work that myself and my practitioners do is so important. Because yes, we can all sit there and connect to other parts of our multidimensional self and gain healing and gain wisdom. But if you are not attending to the energy that is coming into your body, you are still vibrating lower. You still have these parasitical beings attached, which are affecting your emotions, behaviors, and your energy and your physical body. And how can you possibly be expected to vibrate higher if you've got all of that density attached? It's like the classic piece of fruit in the fruit bowl that goes moldy. And if you're a good piece of fruit around that moldy piece, that mold will spread to you. If you've got all of these low frequency energies attached to you in energy, not only will that mold spread to your actual energy so that you don't have it anymore because they take it, but your emotions begin to mimic theirs. You begin to feel sad. You begin to feel angry. You begin to feel bitter. You begin to feel wrath. You begin to feel jealousy. These are all indicative of little to no energy in the energetic body, and that has an effect on the emotional body. The emotional body is just next door to the mental body. So when the emotions start to feel bad, the thoughts begin to reflect the emotions, and vice versa. If you are a naturally negative person and you're cycling around negative thoughts, that will eventually affect the emotional body, which will eventually affect the energetic body, which will eventually cause disease in the physical body. Also, as well, we have to give thought to the fact that if you are carrying entities and you are hypnotized and taken into the quantum space, how can you possibly know that what you are vocalizing as your higher self is your higher self and not a controlling demon that is attached to one of your energy centers. This was one of the reasons that right at the beginning, when I started all of this, I did start it because I took people through lots of past life regressions, which did not end up being past life regressions. They were very strange and curious, little children in a grey and black world, walking, pacing up and down in front of a row of terraced houses, feeling bound there. They couldn't move. That's not a past life regression. That's an earthbound spirit telling you that they're attached to your client that needs to be removed. But if you don't remove them at the front end, or if you don't believe in them at all, how are you going to know that? How are you going to actually be able to create the true healing that needs to be done for your client? And that being said, and this is true, you can hypnotize many people and they will have such a strong soul that they will be able to connect to the higher self. They will be able to bypass the chatter of the attached entities, but that does not stop those attached entities slowly eroding the energy away of that person. So eventually they become diseased. So if you have been thinking about adding entity release to your tool belt as a hypnotherapist or a quantum hypnotherapy modality practitioner, now is the time to do that. Now is the time. And, people will say, well, why is this coming to the forefront now? Well, it isn't. It's been around for a long time. It's just it was ignored. And these clients would be sent away saying, oh, you're not ready yet. Wait till you're ready, then come back. Well, the reason they weren't ready is because they had all of these discarnate spirits and the beings that actually run our world in the upper fourth negatively polarized density attached to them, stopping them from going under hypnotherapy. So when I did start all of this, I built up a body of knowledge very quickly in regards to what was going on. And I started to use that on the side in my sessions with clients. I used to do it as and when these entities came up and made themselves known. Then I realized, hang on, that's not very good. Really, we should be doing this at the front end for everybody so that with complete integrity, and that's very important to me, with complete integrity, that your client is clean and clear before you move into past life regression and into higher self section. It's very important. It's the most important part of the process, in my opinion. So now I have completed the parents class. I'm going to have a bit of a break. I'm going to get back on YouTube as I am now. I'm going to start recording frequent content. And I'm going to release all different things. I'll release more information about entity release, about changes that we all need to start thinking about making in our lives. I'll start doing some vlogs again. So for all of the people that used to absolutely love it when I would vlog the high frequency sessions, I'll start doing those again because I've still been doing those high frequency sessions. And actually, the sessions that I do are even higher frequency, because we remove all of that lower frequency stuff at the front end with the energetic cleanse and the entity release. So I've had some super high frequency sessions recently. And there's many that I could talk about, but I'm not going to, because I will vlog all of those and I will read through them in future videos. So it's exciting times here at Soul Center Healing Hypnosis HQ. We've got many, many students signing up for the course now. And also already many people have been signing up for the parents entity release class in order to teach parents how to clean and clear these off. I had an interview with a gentleman called John Cooper earlier this week. And if you haven't already found his work on YouTube, go check him out. I think his show is called The John Cooper Show. and he is called John Cooper on YouTube. But he's got some absolutely explosive content on his channel. Really, really, really great stuff that all of us need to take a look at. And, you know, blowing the whistle in regards to all of the hidden, secretive stuff that's going on in our world, in our realm, and feel immense gratitude to him that he invited me on his show this week. So that's coming up. So check out his channel if you haven't already. It's been ages since I connected with you guys properly. And I would love to put some really, really high frequency content out there again and start reading those vlogs that everybody used to love so much. But there's a caveat to that. And the caveat is for me to say to everybody, I know each and every one of us at a soul level needs that high frequency content more than we can possibly say. It's like the air that we breathe. It's so needed. My soul understands that more than I can express. But you cannot ignore the darkness. You cannot ignore the darkness. Doesn't matter how you justify it to yourself. And I've been in a world, in a lifetime where we did just that. We decided that we were going to just focus on the light, you know, live and let live, let the darkness do its thing, let us do our thing. But the thing is with the darkness is it doesn't let you do your thing because it consumes light. So if you allow the darkness to come out of balance and run roughshod, you will look around whilst you have been the light and you will realize that you are the only light left. And that is not what we are trying to achieve on Earth. You cannot ignore it and hope that it will go away. And I know I understand all about manifestation. I've studied it myself at great length for many years. I'm not saying focus your entire efforts on the darkness and attention on the darkness either. But what I am saying is all of us have got to attend to what it is that we are carrying right now. And no matter how much you meditate, no matter how much you alter your diet, we need to understand how this world, this realm works. It's unfortunately because our energy centers have lowered in the frequency of the light that they contain due to the emotional trauma and baggage of this realm. It is now set up in such a way that we are plugged into the negatively polarized upper fourth density. It is a parasitical realm. They feed off of us, just as we feed off of the animal kingdom, just as the animal kingdom do the same. They feed off of the animal kingdom, and then they feed off of the elements below. The dimensions are stacked, one above the other. We've got to unplug ourselves from that negativity. We've got to vibrate higher, and you've got to then plug yourself up into the positively polarized upper fourth density. Because then when the time comes, us and the positively polarized fourth will rise into a higher platform, which is the positively polarized fifth density. We vibrate higher. And then at that point, nothing can come anywhere near us because our vibration will be vibrating too high and too fast for those guys to get to us. This is all about the physics of light and the frequency of light. And I'm looking around for my diagram that I often pull out. So I'm going to pull it out again. It's my opinion that we used to vibrate higher. We used to vibrate much higher up into the ultraviolet spectrum. Much, much higher. We were up here. Same as the fairies and the unicorns and the dragons, positively polarized dragons. And, you know, there's positive and negative in all species. But the positively polarized mythical creatures all vibrate around here. That's where we used to vibrate. in resonance with the earth, because that's where she vibrates. Then we had the falling consciousness when the guys around the times of Atlantis or earlier started messing around with things that they shouldn't have been messing around with. They were doing evil things, experimenting without their heart being plugged in to whether they should be doing those things. And it called in the darker energies that exist in this universe, because there is darkness in the universe. And then they whispered into the minds of man, and the first fragmentation happened. The energy centers then split out from being white light across all of them to being into the colors of the rainbow. Once we were fractalized out into the colors of the rainbow, they could get us, make us sad. Sacral starts to vibrate lower. And so then they can attach to the sacral, make us terrified. The red starts to vibrate so low, it's almost black. Then they can attach there, take the root. They won't take all of the root though, because it would kill us, just some of it. The yellow, humiliators, dominators. Think about all of the things that have happened in history in regards to domination and control. Just think about it. This is not vibrating at the true color of lemons, yellow. It's vibrating dirty brown. And dirty brown light is just the perfect kind of light that entities need to fuel their existence. Little fact for you here. Bees cannot see the color red. They see from orange upwards into ultraviolet. And bees are the same in terms of being a part of the planet as we are. We should be in resonance with the bees. They can't even see red. That's where we fell. We fell in frequency lower. Then down here, you've got infrared. These guys vibrate very, very low. Very low. And there's lots of interesting footage that you can find on YouTube and Facebook and all of those places where entities are physically seen, as in you can see them with your physical eyes when an infrared camera is being used, or infrared night goggles, or an infrared telescope. So it's these guys in this bandwidth down here that need to feed off of us. And this is how they target civilizations and break us down. They break us down from being in full connection to the planet, fully connected to the planet, because we used to be aware that we were a part of her. We used to be aware of that. We didn't used to wear shoes. We used to have wonderful communities that lived in harmony with the earth. They target civilizations early on in those primitive stages when consciousness is not as it could be, because there's a growth process there. And then they break them down, get the energy centers so that they are individualized out into these colors. And then slowly, one by one, they switch the lights off. And the lights switch off in you because they are taking your light. The physical body needs light in order to work correctly. So when the physical body doesn't have access to light anymore, and instead it has access to 7 black holes in the body, which is what happens. Think of the body on a micro level in terms of the universe, micro to macro. Your energy centers are galaxies in your universe, which exists inside of you. When an entity attaches and takes that chakra, now there is a black hole where the light used to be. There's now a black hole. So everything in the body that comes near to that space gets sucked in. So all of the little beings that are supposed to work to keep that area in harmony, they don't go anywhere near it because they don't want to be killed. Then what happens if the immune system's not working in the way that it should in that area? If there's no light going in, the area then becomes diseased. As humans moving forwards, we're going to move into a space where we understand frequency and resonance and light and vibration in a much better way in terms of disease and disharmony in the physical body. Yes, diet. Yes, diet does affect the physical body for sure. Yes, getting access to the correct vitamins and minerals in the physical body affects it for sure. Yes, drinking good quality water and not poisoning yourself on a daily basis is very, very important. But what is also very, very important in terms of the longevity of life and the quality of life without disease in the body is that the energy centers, first and foremost, are unparasited upon. So what we have to do is unpick all of this stuff. We have to unpick it all. And it actually goes back ancestrally. This process starts even before you. And this is what I am teaching my students, my practitioners. This is what I'm going to be teaching the parents that come on the parents course. Now is the time. Now is the time. Not tomorrow, not waiting another 10 years. Now is the time for all of us to get real about what it is that we are carrying energetically. If you don't understand what the energetic or the etheric body is, or the emotional body, or the mental body, you need to start looking at this stuff. If you're a quantum practitioner, you need to know this stuff. You need to understand the wider picture in regards to how all of this works. Because the human being is a very, very, very wonderful, but very complex being. We don't just have a biological form. The biological form is a byproduct of the energetic, emotional, and mental body. It begins before the physical. The physical is the end result. So if you've got disease in the physical, it started in the energetic, which came from the emotional, which originated in the mental. And if you don't understand all of this stuff, please do sign up with me at www.schhofficial.com. If you don't want to be a practitioner, you can learn this stuff just for your own self. You can come on the parents course and learn how to clean and clear your own energy, and also how to clear the energy of your children. It will change your life. It will change your life. Trust me on that one. It's changed my life. And I am so grateful to Source for the road that I am walking. I learn so much every single day about this area. And even though I've worked with thousands of people now doing entity release and past life regression, I don't think you can ever possibly stop learning in this area, because there is so much to learn, particularly about the entity release side of things and the parasitical nature of this world. But I built up such a knowledge, a body of knowledge now in regards to the different things that you can find attached to people. And something that is really encouraging is that there is a change actually occurring on the planet as we speak that has happened since the 2020 debacle, of which we all know what happened in that year. And because the AI has been rolled out so heavily on the planet now, because it has manifested so thoroughly and deeply throughout people switching off their heart center and their pineal, switching off their ability to feel any kind of emotion. The entities themselves are realizing that this is the end of the road, that there is not going to be a place left for them, because the humans that are on the path to ascension understand all of this stuff, understand that they need to clean and clear their energy, that it's a huge part of being able to connect fully and completely into the planet in order to be able to receive that light surge that's coming in. They understand that energetically there needs to be no breaks or kinks in their electrical flow that runs throughout the body, because that's what the energy centers do. And they are working on emotional mastery, so they are not so reactive to other beings. So entities are realizing they can't feed off of the ones that are riddled with AI because there's no emotional charge there anymore. Entities feed off of low frequency emotion that's connected to a light source. When they can't trigger the emotions of that human anymore because the AI has switched them all off, they can't feed off of the human anymore. So we're literally getting to a place where you're either in that lane, which is the AI cyborg transhumanist lane, where your entire body will be filled with an artificial AI network that plugs into the AI network, an artificial nervous system that's being made inside of the bodies of these people as we speak. If you haven't watched the film Strange World, I would strongly recommend watching it. Or you are plugging into the organic earth. You're going back to the old ways. You're cleaning and clearing your energy. You're meditating. You're doing yoga. You're stretching. You're eating organic food. You're drinking good quality water. You're drinking and eating high frequency foods. You are connecting in love to all beings. But unfortunately, what that means is at this point, many light workers, many people that have not gone the AI timeline way, are becoming a little bit more vulnerable to entities because they are fighting for a food source. The food source that they had before has gone. I literally had a chat with an entity this morning who told me that like a lion in the jungle or in the desert or in the Sahara, wherever, they're having to work a lot harder to chase their food down because it's slim pickings. It's not as easy for them as it was because the AI is taking the majority of the larger proportion of humans' light on this planet. Now, every dark being that I encounter from the upper negatively polarized fourth density, if they don't already know this, I'm explaining this to them, and they're leaving in droves. But it's like anything, isn't it? When you've held on to something for so long, you won't let go of it. It's building, and many more people worldwide are starting to know and hear more about entities and spirit releasement. All of a sudden, people are understanding, oh, right, all of these years when we thought that, schizophrenia and psychosis was, just some kind of mental condition. It's not. It's to do with entities being attached to that individual. And normally, because they've had a trigger point, which is normally, in my experience with the people that I work with, drug induced. So it's normally cannabis or ayahuasca, or any of the drugs that are psychedelic. Somebody will have taken a drug and it opens their third eye. And as it opens their third eye with these entities attached, they can now hear them. And in this world, that person is then told they have schizophrenia and they're institutionalized. When in actual fact, all that they need doing is their energetic parasites removing and their third eye cleaning and cleansing, and all of their energy cleaning and cleansing and plugging back into the organic planet. This is very, very complex, and there's so much information that I could share here. But in regards to things that most humans would not even begin to believe, they're the things that I see in my sessions. And the things that you will find in people's root chakra, many of these things have come from the earth that has fallen to the dark energy in a certain place. So dark energy has been anchored on the earth in a certain place. Think about that. If the fairies and all of the elemental beings are connected to the earth, if the earth falls in a certain area, so dark energy is anchored in a certain area, and they do this across the planet with all of their ceremonies and rituals that, across the ley lines, anchoring the energy through the churches and all this sort of thing. If the beings that are connected to the earth in that area fall to the dark energy, and you are walking through that area with a broken root because you just got divorced, or you just lost your business, or you just lost your home, or a significant person in your family died, that's all it takes to pull some of these low frequency beings into the root, and they will then start to wreak havoc in the body. You would not believe some of the things that I pull off of people. You also need to consider everything that you're putting in your body in terms of where it is grown in the world. Because if it is grown in a place where dark energy is anchored, you don't want to be putting that in your body. It has an effect on the frequency and the resonance of your light. You would not believe some of the things that I could tell you about houseplants and infestations that can occur in the home because of the type of plant that you have brought into your home, because that plant has elementals connected to it. And if it comes from a place on the planet that is negatively polarized, the elementals are negatively polarized. And then you're introducing those little rascals into your home. Got a good few stories that I could tell you about that. And if you come to train with me, if you come to study with me, you'll have access to all of that stuff, because this is the stuff that I will share with my community, the people that come along for the journey, if you will. So please do think about what it is that you're bringing into your homes, the energy that you're anchoring in your homes. Think about the role of AI in your life, because we do have two very big timelines at the moment. You don't want to be in the AI one. Make sure you're unhooking from that where possible. And for me, that's the last area that I'm going to have to unhook from. I'm already connected in every other area to the positive energy of the planet. But in order to spread my message far and wide, I have to come on this technology to do so. But that will be the very last area that I disconnect from. For anybody that was wanting to come and train with me personally, so in actual real life, so real life stuff, not through technology, but meeting me actually in real life, face to face, I fully intend on running my first ever face to face live practitioner course in the UK this year. It's going to be in August. It's most likely going to be from the 5th to the 9th of August. And the reason that I chose that is because it contains the 888. So on the Thursday of that week, it's the 8th of August, which is the 8th. And in the year 2024, which is also an 8. So it's 888, which is abundance. So that's the week that I've got penciled in my head. I'm just in the process of finding a vendor in the UK at the moment that can provide me what it is that I want. And then once I've got that venue booked and everything in place there, I will make an official public announcement confirming the dates on here. But if you have wanted to meet me live, I will be doing that in August of this year. I will also find some space within those days to run the parents course as well live. So if people do want to come and meet me and do it live, so to speak, then that will be happening. It's definitely happening. I've committed to it in my head. It's happening this year. I'm also going to be writing at some point, and this will probably be towards the back end of this year after I have run the live courses in August. I'm going to be committing to creating a fertility course as well, because this is a very, very important area on our planet at this time. So many women have no idea that when they're having a baby, the biggest thing that they can possibly do for that child is to remove the sacral demon that they have attached at their sacral chakra before they give birth to the child. So this is a whole process. This is so big. Fertility is massive. So I want to be able to work with women to help them step into their highest frequency self before they even begin to think about getting pregnant. So that when they are pregnant, the energy is there within their body to grow a happy and healthy baby. And because the sacral of that woman is not parasited upon, the frequency of soul that that woman is able to pull through from spirit side, from source side, is much higher. What that will then do is raise the frequency of souls that we are able to bring into this space. And that is also a very important thing. So there's lots of different things I'm doing at the moment. The practitioner training, the parents, helping parents and children to become clean and clear of entities, and also thinking about doing the fertility course later this year. And I'm going to be running that live practitioner course. You know, maybe even if you're already a student of mine and you've trained with me online, maybe you might want to think about coming to that live course as well, because I think it would be a great opportunity for all of us to meet face to face and have that experience of bringing all of our energy together. The very first course will be held in the UK. And after I've run that course, I'm going to think about whether it's possible to take that to other countries. I don't think I would possibly be given a visa to work in America. There's no way they're going to do that. So it might just have to be a case of, if you want to meet me face to face, you're going to have to come to the UK. But just treat it as a holiday. And you get to come and connect to the heart chakra of the world, which is the UK. So I'm going to leave it at that for today because my ears are burning because I have been on this headset for quite a while today. But I just wanted to touch base with everybody and basically just announce that you are going to be seeing a lot more of me moving forwards, because I've come out of my hidey hole, my year-long hidey hole of creation, which was the creation of the parents class. And to also announce to all of those people that have been faithfully emailing me and messaging me over the months that it is live. So go get it, because I am going to be capping it at 50. I'm not taking more than 50 a course, just because I want to be able to give time to each and every person that comes on that course to answer their individualized questions. At the moment, there are 2 courses live on the website. So there is one on the 10th and the 11th of April, 10th and 11th, and that starts at 1 p.m. UK to 6 p.m. UK. So that course is more suited to UK, Europe, America, and Canada. And then the other one that I've got running is on the 18th and then the 19th of April. And that starts at 8 a.m. UK, finishes at 1 p.m. UK. And so that is more suited for people who are based in Australia and New Zealand, but also equally suited to people in the UK and Europe as well, that want to come on an early morning class and then do whatever it is that you do from dinner time. The parents class is filling up nicely. So if you are interested in that one, please do get booked in ASAP. The first thing that will happen if you book onto that class is I will send you a signed manual out, hard copy manual to your house that you can start to look through. And then on the 1st of April, I will send all of the electronic stuff out and you'll be given the details that you need to prepare for the live classes, either on the 10th and the 11th of April or the 18th and the 19th of April. Now, I probably will run the parents class again. I'm hoping to do that, of course, but it depends how many people are interested. So what I would say to you is, if you have been waiting for this class, come on this one, please, and let's learn together in regards to how to protect our children and heal our children and help our children vibrate higher. Okay, taken up enough of your time. Hope you're all well. The next video I make will probably be some kind of a vlog. So I'll aim to transcribe something and bring some more high frequency content into that space. That's probably going to be next week, fingers crossed. So until the next time that I see you guys, it won't be a year this time, I promise. Make sure you keep vibrating high. Lots of love to each and every one of you. Bye.